Welcome to Travel with Chu and Mark. Hello, today I'm going to talk about arriving in Stavanger port on board MSC Virtuosa, the Norwegian Fjords cruise. And as you can see, we're on our way backwards into port and awfully close to this little island thing. And obviously they pop these thrusters on and we don't hit it, we miss it. They're obviously doing this regular, shall we say. And at this port we took the mini cruise around the Fjords. It's about 3 hours, and what we thought you'd get to see some different views than on MSC Virtuosa, but unfortunately, as you've been on a cruise and you've been up and down the Fjords on the cruise ship, you're actually not seeing anything else. So we went for 3 hours. You sort of passed a small village that lived on the Fjords. Yeah, that's okay. But then after that, you'd seen everything, and we was heading towards a waterfall. Well, this waterfall, it's like turning a tap on. That wasn't what you call a waterfall. So to be honest, we were very disappointed with it. You can book that on board. It's about £115–120 each. But I booked it through Get Your Guide, and it was less than 63 or something. It was a lot cheaper, so obviously, yeah, bear that in mind. When booking your excursions, there is times when on board is perhaps best, and then obviously booking direct is significantly cheaper. But there are sort of risks involved with that. One of the risks is if they change itineraries and you've already booked and you can't get your money back. If they change itineraries during the trip where they can't actually arrive at that point, then you can't get your money back. Where obviously if you book direct with MSC, they adjust all your bookings accordingly and so on. So that's an advantage. But there obviously is that risk. And if you consider that you're perhaps saving 50% of the actual fee, if you was unlucky enough to experience a deviation, as long as you've sort of booked a couple of excursions on shore yourself direct, you've already probably saved enough to warrant that you might lose a bit. Some of them do offer insurance for an extra few quid, so you can do it that way as well. So it's entirely up to yourselves whether you feel you want to pay the MSC fee or you pay direct. Of course, another advantage, if you're on a land-based one where it involves a lot of travelling, as an example, one of the ones where you go to Paris, it's like an 11 hours excursion. I think it's a 3 hours bus drive. Now that I'd probably consider doing the MSC one, just in case something happened where you was getting delayed coming back to the ship, because on that, as an example, they'll wait for you. So they always wait for their guests on the excursions, where if you've booked that yourself and you're not getting back to port because you're in traffic or something stuck, then the ship will leave without you. But on an MSC excursion, the ship waits for you. So you've got to look at it like that. So if as an example as well, if the ship's in port for 12 hours, 7 till 7, and you're on a bus trip that's only a 4 or 5 hours thing, and you start that at say 9 o'clock, you know you should be back at the ship sort of 2ish, 3ish, shall we say. You've still got 3 or 4 hours in case there was a delay. So you've got to look at it in sensible terms. That one you're probably going to be all right. So here's the boat trip on the mini cruise, and they've got a couple of goats that sort of on this small little piece of land here. God knows how they get up and down, but I would imagine they've been planted by this mini cruise, seeing as 3-4 times a day they'll come and chuck them a scoop full of corn in that little box. So but that was the highlight of that mini cruise. I honestly, we were quite disappointed with it, and we just didn't think it was worth it. And then when you see this waterfall in a minute, you know, let me know in the comments if you'd be impressed with it. especially if you've been to Flam the day before, which we had. Yeah, it was just unbelievable. And we sat there for 3 hours, sort of somewhat bored. We didn't think it was worth it. Now that Stavanger port itself, we quite liked the port. There was a little market you could walk around. There was plenty of little bars and little cafes. It's certainly a place that you'd consider having a night there if you was, you know, say arriving by plane and car. Yeah, here is the waterfall. Come on, now let me know in the comments, would you be impressed by that? As you can see, both Chu and both my parents, look, enjoyed it that much. They're fast asleep. So, yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe. If you're watching on the TV, as most people now do, if you press the up arrow key on your remote control, it'll bring up a menu where you're able to hit that subscribe button and also click the bell notification button. That will tell you whenever I've uploaded any new videos, and obviously subscribing helps me out massively. Or you can scan these 2 QR codes. One's for TikTok, so you can follow us on TikTok, and then the other one is for YouTube, so you can subscribe to us on YouTube. Please do that for me. It will help me out a lot, and it is obviously free of charge.